Hey guys, we're back. Another Captain Collector video. And today it is the spoiler review. I did just put out my spoiler-free review, and I would recommend checking that out because that's kind of like my overall opinions without talking about specific moments. This one, I'm going to be specifically talking about things that happen in the movie. So obviously you haven't seen the movie and you don't want to spoil it. I'd say just watch the last one, and then you'll get like my overall opinion on it. And I say, if you did watch the movie and this is the first one you're seeing, I'd still recommend checking that out. Not just because, oh, check out my other videos, but also this one is just more me talking about specific moments that either I've referenced in the other one but couldn't talk about, or just things I couldn't really talk about in the last one. So I'm just going to go over specific moments, how it made me feel and how I felt about it, because that's the overall point of the last one is it made me feel hope, right? This Superman, when I said in the last one, I was like, oh, like certain moments when you thought he was gonna it's like, oh, he's gonna die. You knew he was gonna make it out because you knew he had hope. And specifically that moment I was talking about near the end of the film, where like the nanites was in his lungs and stuff by the engineer, and then he flew up into space and they were all crawling on him, bro. That part was so hype because even in the moment when he was pushed down and he was dying, right, and they were like, oh, he only has minutes to live, you still were like, Superman, like Superman's gonna make it out of that, you know what I'm saying? And they were like, how is this dude still going? Like, he can't see, he can't breathe, he doesn't feel anything, he just flies up and then falls back down and he spits them all up, bro. And yeah, man, you're like, Superman, bro, you're the guy, bro. Like, it was great. I'm trying to think of earlier stuff to really talk about specifically. But in my opinion, the very beginning got me kind of hyped, but the second half of the movie is like the shining moments of it, you know what I'm saying? I think the second half is definitely a 10 out of 10 in my book. While like, I don't know how to put it. It was just super, super good. The kaiju part was alright, but I really liked the fact that Superman was saving everybody while they were fighting the kaiju, and he was like, no. Like, I love the fact that he said, like, I really either wanted to euthanize it, like in a less like hurtful way, or put it to a space zoo or something like that, like instead of just killing it while everybody else just stabbed it in its eyeballs and exploded. Like, even though this monster was just a kaiju, it made you feel bad for it because you're like, this is just a little baby kaiju that grew big and then they just killed it, and it made you feel bad because Superman was trying to save it, you know what I'm saying? And of course there might not have been a way, but Superman could have made a way, but he had to keep flying around because they were being reckless, so he had to keep flying around to save the little girl, to save the dog, and my favorite, to save the squirrel, is how he was trying to save every life he could. Like, that's what I loved about that movie. He was just trying to save everybody, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I liked, you know what I'm saying? Ultraman being revealed to be him, I'm very happy. That's what they did. A clone of him, introducing Lex Luthor clones, opens up for Connor in the future. We can also get some other clones of Superman, hopefully if they do Death of Superman, though they don't do it too early. I really hope that's like a later on thing. Like, Doomsday is sick, and that'll be an awesome movie and really push Superman if they do that. But that's not a starting thing, Zack Snyder. No, but yeah, you can't introduce that one too early. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be cool though. Imagine Death of Superman with Doomsday and all that, and then they have a movie with like Eradicator and Cyborg Superman and Connor and all that. That'd be sick. But yeah, I thought that he was a great villain. The ending with the speech with Superman, where he was like, I don't know how to put it. Like where he was giving his speech about like how I'm human and I get worried all the time and all that stuff. That was amazing. That was amazing speech. I thought people were gonna. Somebody started clapping, bro. I thought people were gonna clap because of how great it was. And then Crypto came in and bit him up. I loved Crypto in it when he was going after all the T-spheres and then going after the Lex stuff. Let's talk about the cameos now. Right, there we go. I thought there was going to be more. I thought the end credit and the post-credit scene would be more important. We'll get to them. But First, Peacemaker, fun little one. It's a James Gunn movie, so it's cool to have Peacemaker. Fully confirms him. I know we kind of knew because of Creature Commandos and them referencing it, and they kind of already said it, but now he's officially in it. Um, so I thought that was a fun little cameo. People were clapping and laughing and stuff, so that was a nice little one. And then at the end, Supergirl, loved it, loved the suit. It's funny because this is actually the first official seeing of her, because there's been no trailers for her, there's been no anything, but I've seen like the set photos all the time, so I'm just used to it. But now seeing Supergirl, she looks so good as Supergirl. Um, I don't know, she just looks like Supergirl. Like, it's perfect, bro. And the suit, I love that it got the skirt, bro. This is basically just a suit, except you change the logo to look like the new Superman logo. Heat, bro. I love it. Super excited. We already know Lobo's going to be in there. Jason Momoa playing him. So I'm super excited for that movie. I loved it. Gotta love all the robots. Gary was great. I'm trying to think of more specific moments. I said with the T-Spheres where he was beating up people. Loved that part. The action in this movie was great. I know the CGI, some parts were a little bit iffy, but mostly I thought it was really good. The flying, it looked a little bit weird sometimes, but Fortress of Solitude was great. Trying to think of who I didn't really talk about that much. Lex Luthor, I already talked about. Ultraman, there you go. The fight where they revealed to be him was pretty cool. And that they were giving him like fighting moves, and then Krypto and Superman came together to do it and throw him in a black hole. Maybe they might introduce him again as Bizarro. That'd be kind of cool. Let me know what y'all think. Do you think either A, they're never going to touch him again? B, they'll introduce him in the second Superman movie? C, they'll introduce him in a third Superman movie? Or D, they'll introduce him in a Justice League movie if they do like a Legion of Doom type of thing? Let me know what y'all think. I don't really know. I could see them maybe introducing him in something, or just totally forgetting about him and he went in a black hole and he's gone. Or maybe doing a different Bizarro. I don't know. I love Bizarro though, because since I was a kid, bro, I loved that Lego Bizarro movie, the Bizarro League movie. So I'm a big Bizarro guy. So I just always loved Bizarro. I always thought it was cool. Comic books with him, I always loved when I was a kid. So I'm a Bizarro fan. What can I say? So maybe I'm just hoping for it. Yeah. Lex, he didn't use his big suit in it. I do think that they'll probably bring him back eventually and then make him more of a physical guy in his suit. But I thought that was honestly a good choice, right? Because it really let the Engineer and Ultraman shine as like a villain, and then him be able to be in the background pulling the strings. It really, he was, like he said, brains always beats bronze, but he ended up winning in the end, you know what I'm saying? So I thought that was great. The Rift thing was cool. That was a little plot device. The Baravia, there's a lot of stuff parallels to real world. Not really gonna get into that. Little Maxwell Lord in there with James Gunn's brother. Little cameo. Sorry guys, I'm really trying to pick out different things that I didn't talk about. Let's just go right into the mid-credit scene and the post-credit scene. The first one is the one that we've seen pictures of all the time, and it's him hugging Krypto while sitting on the moon. That was a nice little cute scene, just mid-credits. Call back to All-Star Superman, and yeah, honestly, I enjoyed it. But it wasn't that much. And then the very end was a funny little scene with him and Mr. Terrific, and him saying something that's like pointing out an obvious thing, and then being like, oh, I can be such a jerk sometimes. It was such a Superman moment, bro. Oh my gosh, I love that part. But yeah, basically, I was kind of expecting like something, like I really thought Hal Jordan or Jon Stewart was gonna show up in the end credit scene, something crazy, but hey, it didn't work out that way. And honestly, I'm not even that hurtful about it, because even though they do little things to set up characters in the new universe, it does feel like a standalone movie, you know what I'm saying, which I do like. So yeah, that's basically spoiler review. There's so much more stuff I can talk on, so if you guys have seen it of this one, just letting y'all know the comments are spoiler filled. The last one, don't say any spoilers in the last video, but in this one, it's okay. Talk to me about it. Talk to me about specific moments that I missed and I should talk about, because there's probably so much, but my mind's kind of racing and I don't really want this review to be that long. So if y'all didn't see the last one, my final review is a 9 out of 10. Really enjoyed this movie. Go see it for yourself. I thought it was great. Super excited for the future. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Goodbye.